thought it would be best if I went into the military than it would if I went in and became incarcerated. I had shot an individual when I was 15 years old, and I went into the Navy. Stayed in the Navy about 19 months, long enough to get my foot wet, ride the ship overseas and stuff like that. Got out of the Navy, and at that time, you could go in the military without a GED, got out, or high school diploma, got out, went through Opportunities Industrialization Center, OIC, when I was in South Nashville, got a GED. Spent a little time at Tennessee State University, but all during that time, Dr. Haney, even prior to going in, I was always experiencing with drugs and stuff, and actually was addicted to drugs. Even when I was in college, I was shooting heroin and stuff like that. And of course, that eventually derailed my attempts at a college degree, wanted to become a fashion designer, and that derailed that. And of course, I ended up incarcerated in the state prison system, did a total of 5 years of my life incarcerated. And in August of 1986, August 24th, 1986, God stepped into my life, intervened in a powerful way. He called me into ministry, called me away from a 17-plus year drug addiction directly into ministry, and I've been serving him ever since.
But RWaller, talk about yourself for a minute.
Dr. Haney, I want to thank you for allowing me to be here. I am really grateful, man. I came from the streets in which I grew up at in West Nashville on 40th. As a little boy growing up, I loved the basketball. And in the midst of loving the basketball, out in the yard playing by myself, I got captured by the street life. And in the midst of all of that, I got incarcerated in street life for 20-plus years of my life without being behind bars. Captured in my own community by a chemical that controlled my life for so many years. I went to Cone High School, and a lot of people thought I was going to become a great basketball player, but I didn't even know who I was. I was so out of control. But again, as Pastor KWalker invited me, as he shared on how he was released from the bondage, and now I've been delivered myself for 24-plus years. And it's amazing that there's so many people that are still doing the same thing that we used to do. And I'm just grateful to be here to make a difference.
Now, Bishop Campbell, we have a minute for you to sort of make some statements, and then we'll come back to you during the second segment and start with you. But say who you are over the last minute that we have here,
yes.
Bishop Campbell, and then we'll come back to you.
I also want to thank you, Dr. Haney, for allowing me to be here. My name is Bishop Marcus Campbell. I'm the pastor of the Mount Carmel Missionary Baptist Church located at 1032 Monroe Street, and founder and CEO of the Gentleman and Not Gangster Juvenile Mentoring Program that we have here in Nashville, Tennessee.
And so quite a bit has been done in reference to that particular program, and I think that the three of you bring some excellent information in reference to how we might be able to deal with some of the challenges that are facing our young people today. And so we're going to take our first commercial break, and we'll be back with our audience following this very, very short commercial break. Information for the next 4 minutes, 3 or 4 minutes, you know, just lay down some information dealing with this particular issue. Then you follow him and take about 2 or 3 minutes of that, and then we'll let you sort of wrap this second segment out for today, and then we'll come back and we'll go back down and we'll have 10 minutes to sort of bring all of this information together. But the information I think that we're getting today is very, very important information, because I think this, and that's why we like to do this background information, just to indicate that no matter what a man's situation might be today, that it was not always like that, you see, and I think that's an encouragement, and you ought to hear my story.
Oh my! Listen at you.
You ought to hear my story. I was a military brat in a real sense, with my father overseas, and he was an Air Force person and whatever. My family, my mother and everybody was there, and I was 18 years old in Paris, France.
Running wild.
Running wild.
Young man.
Running wild.
Yes, sir.
And so God saved me too. We've all got those stories. I think that when we own up to them, then we can move forward.
Absolutely.
That's so true. And so when we come back, Bishop, we'll start with you, and then Waller, and then on down. And this will be our 8-minute segment.
All right.
Is this the 8-minute segment? Yeah, this is the 8-minute segment.